Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today I'm participating in a gingerbread theme open collaboration with my good friends Dawn from Shabby Meets Bling, Annie from Crafting with Indie Annie Jones, and Monica from Up All Night DIY. Let's get started on the first project. I'm going to be doing a gingerbread style ornament here with 1/2 of the plastic ornaments that you can fill up, because I'm going to be attaching this inside a picture frame, so I only need 1/2. So I'm using Spice Tan on the inside, and I'm just going to use my paintbrush here. The reason I'm doing it on the inside is because it can scratch on the outside, and we don't want that to happen, so I'm just going to put it on the inside here. Now that it's dry, I put some cardboard on the back because I will be hot gluing that to some scrapbook paper that will go inside the frame. But first I want to use this white rickrack that I have. And I think this is perfect for your faux gingerbread for the icing that you want to use for details. Just going to go around the whole edge here just to kind of cover up any part of the cardboard that you could see. And I'm just tacking it in spots instead of putting it around the whole thing. Okay, let's get that done. Whoops. All right, so now that it's done, I want to put some hot glue on here because I want this to look like icing is dripping down on top of it. So I'm using my big glue gun here because it will just go much faster than a small one. And I'm just making some lines here, as you can see. Let's go ahead and put a longer one down here and fill in the areas here. And then I will continue on the other side, get the rest of it put on. All right, now that's all on here. It's a little messy on the left side, but right now I'm just going to go ahead and paint everything with my white paint, trying to just stay on the glue and not touch the plastic of the ornament. Now, like I said, it looks really messy on the left side. I had a little bit of a problem getting it to look smooth, so I'm going to take some of my Snow Tex and do a little bit on the top part of this icing just to kind of cover it up, and it'll make it look a lot better. And I'm probably going to have to do 2 coats of the white to make sure the glue is all covered. Now that I'm waiting for that to dry, this is the piece of cardboard that's going inside my frame, and I want to use this scrapbooking paper that I have. It's both of these are a 2-sided one. And I'm gonna just kind of do my little line here that I need because I only need it to be that wide, so I'm gonna cut it. And I'm gonna make a border, and I know I have to piece it at the bottom, which is okay. All right, so I'm just kind of marking here where I want to do my cuts. And then it's gonna be like this. You're gonna have the candy cane in the middle and the snowflakes on the outside. So I'm just using this piece to mark my things, and then I will cut it. And I will get it Mod Podged on to the cardboard. All right, so here it is all on here. And I went ahead and cut this to size. And you can see that I had to piece it down at the bottom. It's a little bit shorter, but that's okay. The frame will cover it up. So I'm just going to get a bunch of Mod Podge and put it on the back of the paper here. Then I'll place it in the center, and we'll get it inside the frame. So here it is all done. And this is a picture frame that I got at a garage sale this summer for like 50 cents. It was kind of neat. So there's that Snow Tex that I did. I think it looks a lot better. So here is an ornament that I have, a crystal droplet ornament that I took the little top off because it was a little bit too long. And I'm just going to be hot gluing this to the bottom of the ornament. Of course, I want to hot glue the ornament on here first. This is about where I want to place it. So I have enough room for that to hang down at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to hot glue it to the scrapbook paper in one spot and to the ornament and leave it dangling at the bottom. Now here are some picks that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I've cut a few pieces off. So I've got these 2 picks here, and I've cut the pieces off. I'm going to figure out how I want to place these. So I'm going to hot glue a couple of these pieces right here at the bottom. I'm going to be decorating down here and at the top of the ornament. Go ahead and get the little pine pieces here. Use 3 of them right here. I get it to stay. All right. And I cut off 3 of the berries. I'm just going to randomly put them in here. All right, so there is the bottom. And I do have this pretty ribbon here that is gold and a creamy white that I'm just going to tie around the top of the ornament here. I'm going to twist it around, make it face forward. Okay, so I think that looks really pretty at the bottom, and I want to keep that dangling like that crystal at the bottom. So let's go ahead and get the top done. So here's a piece there, and we're going to hot glue it at the very top. And I have all the other pieces here that I'm just going to put in here. I'm going to put the poinsettia in the middle. And I made some pieces, little loops from that same ribbon that I want to tuck in here. I love this color. Let's go ahead and put some berries in. And I made 2 of the longer pieces there. And I did tack this down a little bit on the sides here for the tails. All right. I think this looks really pretty. But I think I want to put just a little bit more at the top here. I want to add some of those little evergreen pieces. So I think this looks really nice. Let's get all the spider webs off, and this project is done. Now for my next project, here are some boots that I got from the ARC thrift store at $7.99, and they were half off. I put some Mod Podge on them because they're suede, and I wasn't sure how the paint would do on them. So I thought I'd put the Mod Podge on first. And I've drawn a line here with my Sharpie, and I'm going to be using Spice Tan in this area because this is going to be for my gingerbread part of the shoe. It's going to be a gingerbread and peppermint shoe. So I'm probably going to have to do either 2 or 3 coats of each color on here to get this brown covered. Now that I have that done, I've only done 1 coat for now. I want to get 1 coat of every color. The next color I'm using is Tomato Spice, and I'm putting it on the toe part of the shoe, and I'll also be putting it on the top part too. There's a little top part right there above the tan color. So let's go ahead and get this done. Trying to be as careful as possible. All right, we're going to get this finished up. And you can see that I did put some of the tomato spice up there, and I also did the heel. The next color I'm using is light ivory. I'm going to put it above the tomato spice there and on the heel or the back part of the shoe here. Now that I have that done, I'm taking medium Hauser green and I'm doing this little section right here with the green. Just going to get that base coated on. And I'm just going to do some dots in this spot. It's so tiny, but I kind of want to have a different color here. I was going to do some holly leaves, but I don't think I have enough room, so I just put some different colored dots in here. All right, when this dries, I'm going to be doing, like I said, probably about 2 to 3 coats of every color again, and then we can go ahead and start all of the different areas that I want to do with the gingerbread, and I'm going to do some peppermint on here too. All right, everything is dry. They have 3 coats on here. Now the first part I'm going to work on is the tan area of my gingerbread, and I'm going to be drawing on some lines here. You can see that I drew my lines on, and I'm going to be taking maple sugar tan, and I'm going to go ahead with a thin brush and just paint on my lines. Now the reason I'm doing this, I'm actually going to be putting on some other colors, but I kind of want to have my lines on here first so I know where I'm at, because I'm just going to be splotching some colors on here with some brown and red and the light ivory. But I kind of want to have my lines defined first. All right, so now that is done, I'm taking dark chocolate and I just have a damp piece of paper towel and I'm dipping it in it, and I'm just kind of like splotching this color on in certain areas of the little squares. And I know I'm covering up the maple sugar tan, but once I'm all done with this, I'm going to go back over with the maple sugar tan and make the lines again. I'm also using the tomato spice and the light ivory. So now we're going to do the tomato spice in a few areas. Let's go to the other side and get it done. Now we're taking the light ivory and doing the same thing. I am also going to use the light ivory to speckle it with an old toothbrush in the area of the gingerbread. All right, now that that's done, I know I got some on the red, but you know, there's all kinds of touch-ups you need to do. Now I'm taking that maple sugar tan and I'm going to go back over the lines like I said, just so I can bring them out again. So now you can see the lines a lot better. Okay, now that is done on the whole shoe everywhere, and I've drawn on these little circly looking things here. They're for my peppermint loops. Just going to be taking my light ivory and I'm going to be painting them with the light ivory first, and then I'll take the tomato spice and make my stripings. And this will probably take about 3 coats. And I know I'm covering up some of the stuff that I did, but it's easier to do this, just do your first layer first and then go back over with your details. I have 4 loops to do on this side and 4 on the other. And this 4th loop here is in the area where the laces go, so it's a little more difficult to paint this section. Now that it's done, I've gone in with my pencil and drew my lines for the striping of the peppermint loops here. Just using that tomato spice. And probably have to use a couple coats to cover up the light ivory color. Just try and do this as carefully as possible. If you mess up, you can go back over it with the light ivory, just to fix up any messes that you make. All right, now that that is done, I'm just taking my Sharpie here and I'm making details with the black so you can see the outlining of the peppermint loops. Plus you want to see how they overlap each other. It's easier to use the black. All right, you know, after I looked at it, I decided I want to have some of the speckling on the candy cane loops here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. And the next spot I'm going to work on is the toe. So I'm going to have to do all my fixing up there. So now I've done another coat of the tomato spice on there. I'm just going to do some stitch lines on here with the light ivory. We're going to make the toe really simple. I didn't want to do too much on it since I had the candy cane loops there on the sides. And then on the very toe part, I'm just going to go a little bit thicker with a light ivory and make it look kind of like icing. Then I'm taking the bottom of my paintbrush and I'm making some little dots here. I'm going to go on all the way to the sides here. And then I'm taking some apple green and I'm making smaller dots in between every two of the light ivory. All right, this is looking really cute now. Now I need to draw on my stripes here on the back, and you can see I did my little dots on the green. So now I'm using the tomato spice again, and I'm going to be defining my stripes. And it's kind of hard to paint on, you know, a curve like this. So I'm messing up a little bit here, but I'm going to go back over it with the light ivory and fix everything where it looks smoother. And I'm going to probably have to do 2 coats of the red on here. And then I'm also going to make a smaller line in between the wide ones. Now that it's all done, I have everything all cleaned up, everything's been fixed. I need to put some laces in here, but you know I don't have laces and I don't want to use the brown ones. I'm also going to be putting something at the top here of the shoe. So what I've decided to do for the laces is some green ribbon here, and it's kind of the same color as that apple green. I'm going to lace that up there. And I'm also going to take this lace that I got and this little snowflake garland that's from Hobby Lobby for little mini trees, and I'm going to cut a few pieces and hot glue it on. All right, so now I have my ribbon in there for my laces. I'm going to take the hot glue gun and I'm going to be gluing on this lace here. And this lace is from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to go around all the way to the zipper part. And then I'm also going to do it right there, that little section. We just need to cut a little piece right here and hot glue it on the other side of the zipper. Okay, now that that's all on, I cut these pieces of that garland and I'm just going to hot glue it in the little scalloped areas where it goes up around the whole shoe. That looks so cute. All right, here they are. They are both done. Now these I'm not going to be wearing. These, I cannot wear stilettos whatsoever, besides they're a size 8 and I'm a size 7, but they're cute for decor. My next project is this cutting board that I got from Walmart in the craft department. I have one more piece of this candy striped scrapbook paper. I got these measuring cups at the dollar store. And I think I can kind of get this off with my fingernail, but if not, I can cover it with something else. So I've done a little bit of drawing on here, and I'm just going to cut it to the size that I need for the cutting board. Okay, now that it's done, of course it doesn't fit all the way, but we're going to use another piece there to go at the top. So I can just, if I can figure it out here, it just kind of goes like this. So we'll just use it, we'll just piece it at the top. You won't notice it as much. So I did paint the sides red with that tomato spice. And I'm just going to take my Mod Podge and put it all over the cutting board here. Make sure I get lots on here. Pour a little bit more. I can make sure this is covered all the way to the edges. All right, now that's done, I'm going to put this piece on here. Smooth it out. Okay, and I did cut this little section here. I'm going to see where I need to line it up at. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I had printed out this Baking Spirits Bride off that Creative Fabrica, and I'm going to put it on top of this doily. Now I just happen to have this little plaque here that I'm going to use to cut out my circle. Now I've got that all done and I've got it Mod Podged on. I'm going to take some of my modeling clay here and I'm going to put it in right here, and I need to pop it out. It's not easy to get out. So this is my gingerbread idea. This is going to be gingerbread faces. As soon as I get this out, pop it out and put it in this way, and I'm only using 3 of the measuring cups instead of 4. Alright, so now that they're all in here and dry, I'm using 3 colors: dark chocolate, spice tan, and golden brown. And I'm going to be painting my little gingerbread faces. The first color I'm going to put on is the dark chocolate. This could be my base color, and then I'll be adding the other 2 colors on here. Let's go ahead and get these done. Alright, so I've got that one done there. I took the golden brown and just kind of put it in the middle here. I did this while they were still a little wet, so it will kind of blend in. Okay, and then I'm going to take the spice tan and go in the middle there just to make it a little bit lighter. And once these dry, I'm going to be putting some faces on. But before I do that, I have these little stickers here in the green and white chevron pattern that I decided to cover up that McCormick on there. Yeah, we got to cover that up. I'm trying to line it up right. It's just not lining up where I want it to go. Let's cut it off just a little bit. All right. There, I think that looks cute, just like that. And now I got to get those faces on, just using some black paint, as you can see here, putting on the little mouth, and then I'm going to dot the eyes with the end of the paintbrush. It's kind of messing up a little bit. I didn't want it that thick, so I'm just kind of going back over it with the spice tan color, trying to fix that. And there are the eyes. Okay, the next thing I've done is just taken some of my white paint, and I'm just going along the side here. You can use some puff paint if you want, just to kind of make it look like the icing around the face. And then I'm also going to take some green ribbon and make little bows and hot glue them to the bottom of their faces. Alright, so now that they're done, I need to hot glue them on here to the cutting board. Kind of like this, I think. Oh, and I did make a little bit like kind of hair on them with the dark chocolate, as you can see at the top. That would be kind of cute. Alright, I also did a half wooden ball with an apple green color and covered up that hole. I'm taking my green Chanel stems, cutting them in half, and I'm making little swirls with them. I got some green bells here that I'm going to hot glue on my red bow that I put here. And then I'm going to glue these in, just fancies it up just a little bit. They're just not curly enough. Got to make them little curly cues here. There we go. And I'm just going to use 3 of them. Alright, that's it for this project. For my last project, I'm going to use the Model Magic clay again, and I have a gingerbread man cookie cutter. I am going to cut out with the clay. Now you can make an ornament out of these. These are great for making ornaments, but I'm going to be using mine on a garland instead. Let's go ahead and pull the clay off. And I'm actually going to have to make 10 of these. All right, I want to make a hole at the top because I need to be able to attach them to the garland. All right, so now that they're dry, I'm taking Spice Tan. I'm going to be painting all 10 of these. I didn't realize I needed 10. I thought I only needed 8, but when I looked at my garland that I already have, I definitely need at least 10. So I'm going to do a couple coats on the front and on the back on every one of them. And then when they're dry, I'm going to take my dark chocolate here, and I am just going to brush this on. It's a little watered down. I'm not going to do the back side, just the edges and the front. And I'm going to take a slightly damp paper towel and rub some of it off. I think this looks a little bit better than just having that Spice Tan color. Actually, it kind of looks like a wood grain too. All right, now I'm going to take my puff paint and I'm going to draw on my icing. Just a simple one is all I'm going to do. I don't want to get too fancy. I'm actually going to go ahead and go on the outside too. Let's go ahead and get this one finished up. And like I said, I have 10 of these. And I'm not a baker, so I'm not good at doing icing, but I did the best I could. I'm also going to just put on some eyes and a little mouth. And let all of it get these done, and they're all dry now. I also took my tomato spice, and I am making little button type things here. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough little red buttons to put on there, so I'm just going to do that. And I'm taking this string here to make little bows. I thought about using it to outline the gingerbread man, but my garland is red and white striped, so I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to make little loops here. You can see I have them all done. This is my pre-existing garland. You can actually make one like this. I have 2 of these, and I can't remember where I got these at. I've had them for a few years. And I'm just going to attach them like every so many pieces here. Think about 6 of the loops here. Just going to attach it like that. See, doesn't that look really cute? All right, I'm going to finish it up, and then we're going to check out how all the projects turned out. So here they are. I have them all styled here on my little cabinet. I think these are adorable. I added a few other items here just to kind of dress up the little area. All right, my sweet friends, that's going to do it for the video today. I hope that you enjoyed it and I could give you some ideas on making some gingerbread and peppermint decor for your home this year. I want to thank Dawn, Annie, and Monica for hosting this collaboration. And be sure to check out everybody's videos because you don't want to miss them. I have the playlist link down below in my description box. I want to wish everybody a very wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.